We're working on my brother's 6th gen Bronco. What do we do, or what are we going to do on it today?
So today we're going to install a Sasquatch suspension with 1.5" broncobuster coil spacers for a total of a 2-inch lift.
And we got these from the owners of Wild Horses at a swap meet at Rough Stuff. Stay tuned and go wheel. All right, so here we are. We're chalking the tires, taking the tires off, getting ready to jack up the driver's side of the vehicle. And then from there, we're gonna throw some jack stands under the frame, pop off the tires, and then we can droop out the suspension. And here we are, we're gonna be able to start taking off those upper strut bolts. And then from there, we're gonna be removing the rest of the front upper control arms, axle shaft, and tie rod. All right, that one inner strut bolt, we needed to just fish a bunch of extensions from the top to get to it. You can't really get to it from the outside with that AC line right there. All right, we're using a sledgehammer to shock load the tie rod ends out just by hitting that knuckle and then giving some love taps to the bottom and just trying to get that thing to fall out. It was also raining extremely hard this day, so the sound from the rain kind of ruined a lot of the audio. We're doing the same thing for the upper control arm right here too, just trying to shock load that upper ball joint to get it to release. It's stuck in there pretty good. It does go flying once it goes. You do have to unbolt the CV axle and pull it out of the hub assembly to be able to droop the whole knuckle assembly far enough out of the way to actually droop the lower control arm enough to get that strut out of there. Use the 5-foot tire iron as a pry bar to help additionally droop the lower control arm to be able to get the struts in and out. So we gained about 37.5, 39.5. So we gained about 2 inches at all corners. Upper control arm bolts, 46 foot-pounds. Top strut bolts, 41 foot-pounds. Bottom strut bolts, 66. My writing's terrible. Tie rod ends, 46. Axle nut, 221. The rear lower strut mount is 350, which we bought a special torque wrench for. And there's my horrible handwriting, but those are all the torque specs. It wasn't supposed to snow, but it did start snowing that day as well. All right, so he's just talking about how it's already kind of a stiff suspension for him. And then here we are just reinstalling the passenger side strut. And I think we did end up using a pry bar. This side went in really easy once we realized you had to unbolt the CV axle nut to get it in and out. The driver's side took us way longer because we were trying not to unbolt that nut, but there is like no way to do it without unbolting that CV axle nut. But you can see we're using my 5-foot tire iron right here. It helps give you that extra leverage on the lower control arm to get it on there. To torque the upper strut bolts to 41 foot-pounds, pulled that off in another video. And then we had to tighten the upper ball joint next. I think that was either 41 or 46. We talked about it earlier in the video. We're torquing the upper bolts to 41 foot-pounds. And we're doing the bottom bolts to 67 foot-pounds. Did you hit them with the impact first? So for keeping the ball joint from spinning and the tie rod ends from spinning, you're gonna wanna use like a little 8mm ratchet socket with a ratcheting wrench to get it initially tight, and then you can use your torque wrench to drive it home. All right, we're just reinstalling everything, including the brake line bolt, and then just slapping the tires back on right here. No, you don't need to. I just mean like down the road, it's just...
You think it looks stupid without bigger tires?
No, it looks fine.
Hey, what's up, Lisa?
What's up, guys? Girls?
Hey, where can we stand?
What's up? How you doing? Right, just using a long mountain ratcheting wrench. There's one more upper bolt left, and then we just hammer off the bottom ones with an impact driver. The rear's going pretty quick. We always put a couple extra jack stands under it just as an emergency measure. Someone there. The rear install was way easier. It was like 15 to 20 minutes per side max, I think. So that went really fast. You're basically just taking off the 3 top bolts after you jack up the vehicle, and then hitting that big giant bolt on the bottom, slapping the new ones in there since the struts were already installed, and then torquing that lower to 350 foot-pounds and the top to 41 foot-pounds. Cool. And this time, just make sure it's like a little more centered, I guess, but like get that one kind of. So we just torqued it with the giant torque wrench, and we just kind of put the wrench against the ground, 30 mil. The rears took like 20 minutes per side, maybe, I don't know, really quick. We're done, we put tires on, torque them. So some specialty tools, a 35 millimeter axle nut, 30 millimeter wrench that I ordered. I already had the 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter. I already had the 27 and the 30 socket for the rear. And then I bought a giant torque wrench to go to 350 for doing the rear lower bolts. And then one thing I'd like to call out too that'll make your life way easier is I use, well, it's in here somewhere, the flex head adjusting mountain wrench, ratcheting mountain wrenches for getting the upper bolts on the rear out. Taking the axle of the CV shaft all the way out.
So taking the CV shaft all the way off of the axle was the most important. We didn't get enough play without taking that off, and so we couldn't get the struts out. But once we did that, we were able to pull it down enough. The strut came out real easily, and then the rest of the lift went really fast.
Thanks for following along this week. If you can, please like, subscribe, comment below, click notifications, all that good stuff. I don't know, are we gonna have any more Bronco videos in the future? Do you think we're gonna do any more work, or are you done with it now? Is the 2-inch lift all you wanna do, or is that?
I think there's definitely gonna be more videos.
All right, so I don't know. He might do bumpers or 35s or rock sliders or belly skids or upgraded tie rods down the road. So we'll see we'll see whenever that happens. But for now, I think it's fine as is. See you guys next time. I don't know what to say either. I never know how to fucking close it out. So, what do I don't even know. It's stay tuned to Go Wheel. I don't know. You're just kind of standing there. I don't know. Should you do it?
So you're gonna say, what are we doing today, right? And then I say,
yeah.
Yeah.
Should you say something on the intro? What do we? Oh, I'll say hey. Okay, there we go.
Thanks.
I think that works. Okay. Let's shoot the outro right now too, because I always drank a lot of water today. This might be good to know. So you got about 16.5 to your steps. The Badlands, why is this thing not adjusting? It's so annoying. So the Badlands does have a bunch of skids under it. There's a little front skid thing right here, and then there's like a belly skid, another belly skid, and there's definitely a gas tank skid further down and a TK skid over there. You can see that why when people go to bigger tires, these tie rod ends are pretty small. They're fine for 33s and in your average wheeling, but I think if you were running large tires, you'd want to upgrade for sure. That's why everyone upgrades. CV angles are decent right now, but like you can tell that when you go to like a 5 or 6 inch lift, like some guys do, that you got to do something to drop the CVs down. That's why I would never go higher than probably a 2-inch lift on this thing.